Hello there, I'm Carly from Learn English with Carly, ready to teach you our English lesson this week. We're back to nature today. You find me next to a stream here in North Vancouver. We haven't had as much snow as usual, so the stream level is quite low. Okay, a quick question. Do you know when to use at the end and when to use in the end? Both of these short phrases are used a lot in everyday English, but the prepositions at and in change the meaning of our sentence. Let's learn the meaning of these two phrases and how to use them. Then towards the end of the video, get ready to practice at the end and in the end in a quiz. Please feel free to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and please write to me. I love hearing from you. Okay, we use at the end of something to show the time when something ends. This is a prepositional phrase to refer to the end of a specific noun. This noun can be a period of time, an event, a place, or something more abstract. For example, at the end of the week, at the end of the month, at the end of the year, at the end of February, at the end of the football match, at the end of the concert, at the end of the book, and at the end of the project, at the end of my street, at the end of my patience. In these sentences, we cannot use in, we must use at. Also, notice the use of. I pay my mobile phone bill at the end of the month. The students hope to have a party at the end of the year. The winter sales season usually ends at the end of January. The players shook hands at the end of the football match. At the end of the concert, everyone clapped and cheered. The mystery was finally solved at the end of the book. The team celebrated their success at the end of the project. My friend lives at the end of the street. Ingrid is at the end of her patience dealing with her noisy neighbours. Why did I not include at the end of the day in these examples? Well, at the end of the day can be used in two ways. Firstly, we can use at the end of the day to mean exactly that. Commuters head home at the end of the day. The school children were keen to leave the classroom at the end of the day. At the end of a busy day, I like to sit on the sofa and read. It's true, I'm such a bookworm. What do you like to do at the end of your working day? But at the end of the day is actually an idiom in English too, meaning ultimately and when everything is taken into consideration. It is something we say before we give the most important fact of a situation. Here are some everyday English sentence examples where we use the idiom at the end of the day. At the end of the day is Fred's decision. At the end of the day, the best team won. At the end of the day, it's just too much money to spend. At the end of the day, I know Linda means well, but she is sometimes rude. At the end of the day, we need to practice our English skills to improve. Whenever I think of David Beckham, he often uses at the end of the day in his everyday English, so feel free to copy him. I hope that this makes the meaning and use of at the end clearer for you. Now let's take a look at in the end. In the end means finally. We use in the end when we say what the final result, outcome, or consequence of a situation was. In the end, Eric was forced to resign. The couple had a lot of problems with their car. They sold it in the end. In the end, we decided to organise a birthday party for Jane. Felix studied diligently for the exam, and in the end, he got an A. The politicians debated for hours, but in the end, they reached a decision. I knew that everything would turn out fine in the end. They couldn't decide on a movie to watch, but in the end, they settled for a comedy. All my hard work will pay off in the end. I hope this has increased your understanding of using in the end. Now let's practice these two phrases. Fill in the gaps of the following 15 sentences with either at or in. I will go over the answers after each question. At the end or in the end? Number 1. At or in the end of the film, everyone applauded and cheered. Notice that we have an of here, of the film, so we have to use at the end of the film. Number 2, at or in the end of the match, Mohamed Salah was given the Man of the Match award. Again, we have an of, so we have to use at the end of the match. Number 3, at or in the end, Yasser realised that honesty was the best policy. That's right, in the end. Number 4, we decided to have dessert at or in the end of the meal. Again, watch out for that word of because it tells you to use at the end of the meal. Number 5, Ronan got lost in the maze, but he found his way out at or in the end. That's right, in the end. Number 6, at or in the end, my neighbours chose to paint their house blue. In the end. Number 7, I had to study hard, but at or in the end, I passed the exam with flying colours. That's right, again we use in the end. Number 8, are you going away at or in the end of June or the beginning of August? Yes, we're dealing with a month. We have the word of, so we have to say at the end of June. Question number 9, at or in the end, the group agreed to share the responsibilities and work together as a team. That's right, in the end. Number 10, at or in the end of the story, the hero triumphed and saved the day. Correct, at the end of the story. Number 11, you were in a difficult position. What did you do at or in the end? That's right, in the end. Number 12, 2 of the runners collapsed at or in the end of the race. At the end of the race. Number 13, I couldn't decide what to buy Patrick for Christmas, but I bought him a book at or in the end. In the end. Number 14, our penultimate question. The employees get paid at or in the end of each month. That's right, at the end of each month. And 15, at or in the end of the day is really your decision. Of course, this is a set phrase, an idiom, so we have to use at the end of the day. How did you do? I hope that this video lesson has helped you improve your understanding and use of at the end and in the end. Thank you for joining me today, and I look forward to working with you again in our next video lesson. Take care in the meantime. Bye.